You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. First tonight, security was tight as South Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz appeared in court for the second time.
ABC's Jim Ryan has more from Broward County.
The 19-year-old accused of killing 17 people in a high school last Wednesday was led into the courtroom for proceedings that lasted only a few minutes.
Okay, we're here on the case of the state of Florida versus Nicholas Cruz. Are all of the attorneys present?
Yes, Your Honor.
At issue was a motion filed by the defense on Friday to keep sealed a document related to their access to Cruz. The judge agreed to keep it sealed, but said that from here on out, motions related to Cruz would be heard in open court.
Does anyone have any questions?
In a separate hearing without Cruz present, the judge granted an order to release documents from a 2016 state investigation.
The public should have the opportunity to properly evaluate the actions of the Department of Children and Families and all agencies that interacted with Nicholas Cruz prior to February 14th of this year.
Records show that Cruz had cut his arms and posted a video of the injuries on Snapchat, that he wanted to buy a gun, that he struggled with depression. Meanwhile, we're learning more about the family that took in Nicholas Cruz after his adoptive mother died in November.
And he was very polite. He seemed normal.
On Good Morning America, James and Kimberly Sneed said they knew he had an AR-15 rifle, but insisted that it be locked up.
He followed every rule to the T.
Until Wednesday. Nicholas Cruz was arrested after the murders of 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, leaving the Sneeds along with an entire community
just heartbroken, devastated. I still can't process it.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Broward County, Florida.
Well, Sarasota County School District staff want to hear your ideas about how the district can better its safety and security following that tragedy in Parkland.
Meanwhile, 2 representatives from the district are headed to Tallahassee as part of a statewide initiative to better protect our students. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live to explain what parents and community members can expect. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, there's a lot going on in Sarasota County right now to address the issue of school safety. While school administrators put their heads together to figure out what they can do better, 2 staff members are headed to Tallahassee to take the issue statewide.
You're always concerned and afraid of if you send your kids in school, if they're coming back.
Nicole Betts is the mother of 2. Her 16-year-old twins attend Riverview High School.
I think there's always a way. If somebody want to go in, there's always a way to get in.
She doesn't know what the magic answer is in stopping school violence.
I'm getting more and more concerned and anxious about the situation.
Sarasota County School District had an emergency school board executive session on Monday. The staff putting their heads together to determine what safety measures the district can do better.
We talk in great detail about what our safety plans are, and as much as we'd like to share those with the community, sometimes the bad guys are listening too, and we don't want them to know exactly what plans we have in place and how we might respond if they want to do harm.
The district also putting a call out to parents and students on Sunday, asking for feedback on how to make schools safer. In less than 24 hours, they received 400 responses.
There's just this element where you can sense people want to help, want to be part of this solution.
School board chairwoman Bridget Ziegler is one of 2 Sarasota County School District employees selected by Governor Rick Scott to be a part of a statewide task force on school security. She and the principal of the year, Dr. Rachel Shelley, are on their way to Tallahassee for Tuesday's meeting.
I'm very optimistic about it, as it's not just the typical conversations that we hear that are really decisions that are made oftentimes at the federal level and does take a lot longer to move forward. So what I think is encouraging is that local leaders around the state are having these similar conversations like we are here in Sarasota County, and then filtering that back up to the state level. Those are the things that I think you'll be able to see immediate action.
Sarasota Schools Director of Safety and Security, Michael Andreas, says he's very comfortable with the safety plans the district has in place, but that there's always room for improvement.
A fence doesn't make us safer. A single person doesn't make us safer. A policy doesn't make us safe. It all has to work together. And if people can understand that on that committee, then hopefully we'll get the right kind of results.
Again, Sarasota County Schools want you to be a part of this conversation and submit your feedback to them. If you're interested in doing so, I have an email address on our website, mysuncoast.com, that you can email. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. Several events are planned around the state capitol this week as politicians figure out what to do following that school shooting. As Jess just reported, Governor Scott has scheduled 3 workshops to look at how to improve school safety, expand mental health services, and ensure those struggling from mental illness do not have access to guns. Students from Stoneman Douglas High School plan to travel to the Capitol on Wednesday to join with other gun control advocates in meeting with lawmakers. And a bill that would allow designated people to carry concealed firearms on school grounds had been on Tuesday's agenda of the state Senate, but it was pulled over the weekend. State Senator Dennis Baxley says his bill is still a good idea, but will be tough to pass in the current political climate.
Sterilizing the environment is not solving the problem. It's a behavioral issue. It's not a hardware issue. And what we have to do on the immediacy of it is figure out how to interrupt an incident so it doesn't become a massacre.
Senate and House leaders are also working to see what, if anything, can be done in the final 3 weeks of the 2018 legislative session to change laws on who can own assault rifles, creating waiting periods to purchase them, and revising the state's background check process.
Meanwhile, the White House announcing that President Trump is open to tougher background checks for gun purchases, this marking the first time since the Florida school shooting that he's addressed gun violence in any way. President Trump's tweet tying the FBI's actions with regard to the suspect to the Russia investigation, angering many Stoneman Douglas High School students. Those students and others are turning their grief into activism. Today, 17 teens staged a 3-minute lie-in at the White House to symbolize how little time it took for the shooter to buy his AR-15.
We are going to be marching together as students begging for our lives. This isn't about the GOP. This isn't about the Democrats. This is about the adults. We feel neglected, and at this point, you're either with us or against us.
Tomorrow, about 100 students from Parkland will head to Florida's Capitol, taking their message for changing gun laws to state lawmakers. Over the weekend, Parkland students also announced a march on Washington that will be held on March 24th.
All right, let's get a check on our very warm weather. Felt like summer today at parts of the area. Let's get more with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, hard to believe it goes on and on and on now, and we've had a string of days, upper 70s to low to mid 80s, and today in the mid 80s. As a result of a large dome of high pressure, which refuses to budge right now. It's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It stretches all the way down along the eastern seaboard, too. But the main threat is going to be warm temperatures near record-breaking highs, and looks like that east to southeasterly wind will continue over the upcoming days. Now, a few showers possible inland counties. We'll get a little bit of a sea breeze each and every afternoon, but that really won't do much in terms of producing any kind of shower activity around. Currently, we have 81 degrees, a few clouds, and the dew point 64. Winds are out of the west now at 8. That's that sea breeze that has kicked in. The pressure 30-22. And that continues to hold strong. And at temperatures, look at this, 11 o'clock tonight, still 71 degrees. This is typically our high in for the day, 73, so we're going to be even at that at 9 o'clock. Now, as far as the state temperatures go, all into the 70s to low 80s now, 78 into Miami, 79 in Key West, and 79 in Orlando. Well, much more on our weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing girl, the sister of a 13-year-old murder victim. 12-year-old Jalissa Shannon was last seen around 9 o'clock last night. Sheriff's deputies say she was leaving a home on 65th Avenue West and was wearing a black shirt and capri pants. When she didn't come home, the girl's mother reported her missing. Right now, the Sheriff's Office does not suspect any foul play. Last July, Jalissa Shannon's sister Janessa was reported missing. Her body was found 10 days later. Her father, Nashawn Shannon, was eventually arrested and charged with her murder. Again, deputies do not suspect any foul play in Jalissa's disappearance at this time, but if you have seen her, call the Sheriff's Office.
There are new identity theft warnings this tax season that are affecting people right here on the Suncoast. Investigators say thieves are filing phony returns using taxpayers' real information. Then they're having those refunds deposited into taxpayers' real checking accounts. The identity thieves then call and pretend to be an IRS debt collector, saying the refund money was deposited by accident and they need it back. The best way to avoid this latest scam is by filing taxes early. That way you're the first and only one using your Social Security number.
If you have any identity theft issues related to your tax return, usually a good way of knowing that that's occurred is when you file your return and you get a notice that someone else has filed a return with your Social Security number. It's really important to be right on top of identity theft issues.
According to the IRS, the thieves are most likely getting your personal information from the recent data breaches. Remember to keep in mind the IRS will never call you by phone, so do not fall for that. And again, your best defense is to file your taxes early.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, we'll have the latest on the Russia investigation after President Trump sent nearly a dozen tweets in 24 hours related to that topic.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, as the deadly flu epidemic continues across the country, a look at natural ways to help combat the virus.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 digital media services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 digital media services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Sarasota Opera's 2018 Winter Opera Festival is here, featuring Puccini's Manon Lescaut, Bizet's Carmen, Bellini's Norma, and D'Albert's rarely heard Tieflant. For more information, go to sarasotaopera.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
If you've never truly loved your car, you've clearly never owned a Subaru. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down during the Subaru True Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
A firestorm erupted this weekend over a tweet from President Trump using the Parkland school shooting to attack the FBI about the Russia investigation. On Friday, the Deputy Attorney General announced 13 Russian nationals and 3 companies in Russia were charged with interfering in the 2016 presidential election. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from the White House.
Good afternoon. After the indictment announcement on Friday, President Trump initially had a muted response, but that quickly changed this weekend with him lashing out over the Russia probe, attacking everybody from the FBI to Democrats, even his own national security advisor.
It was a Twitter tirade. President Trump sending no less than 10 tweets in less than 24 hours, reacting to the indictments announced Friday that 13 Russians were behind an alleged elaborate scheme to meddle in American politics beginning in 2014. The president pointing to that date, writing, "It was long before my run for president. Maybe they knew I was going to run, even though I didn't know." Mr. Trump had said in 2014 running for office was something he would certainly look at, and in 2013 had spent a reported $1 million on electoral research. But in that tweet storm, the president even targeted his own national security advisor after he said this.
And as you can see with the FBI indictment, the evidence is now really incontrovertible and available in the public domain.
The president, writing, General McMaster forgot to say that the results of the 2016 election were not impacted or changed by the Russians. He then turned his tweets toward blaming the Democrats. Obama was president, knew of the threat, and did nothing. By Sunday morning, if it was the goal of Russia to create discord, disruption, and chaos within the U.S., he tweeted, "They're laughing there off in Moscow."
Well, President Trump does now seem to accept that Russia meddled in the U.S. election. One thing he didn't tweet about this weekend, Vladimir Putin or any response his administration might take to protect the U.S. electoral system. Serena Marshall, ABC News, the White House.
Nearly 24 states are on alert for hazardous weather conditions this week as a series of storms sweeping across the U.S. bring rain, wind, heavy snow, and ice. Gusty winds sparking a wildfire in California that forced 200 people to evacuate. In the Midwest, there was snow and ice, whiteout conditions affecting drivers in Rapid City, South Dakota. Cold wind and snowy weather in Seattle even this week. High winds, waves closing the Interstate 90 floating bridge there.
Went from blue sky to pelting down sleet.
And then heavy rain in the Mississippi and Ohio Valley region causing flooding. In West Virginia, a state of emergency has been declared as the Ohio River continues to rise. In Ohio, a flood warning is in effect in Cincinnati, where the Ohio River is cresting. And of course, here on the Sun Coast, it's just heat.
Yeah, and the high pressure ridge is bringing us all this nice weather, and we had a lot of events over the weekend. Everything worked out, but it's also bringing a lot of moisture into that area as it rotates around. It pushes that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico into the Ohio Valley. And here's a look at what's happening now as far as the rest of the U.S. goes. You can see all that rain still piling up in Ohio, Indiana, stretching all the way down into Kansas City tonight. And it's all kind of rotating around the periphery of that high pressure ridge. And the storms out west, at least to Washington and Oregon, have calmed down now. That has since moved off into the northern plain states. But boy, there's a lot of watches and warnings out all across the northern plains, throughout the western portions of the Great Lakes tonight. Winter weather advisories, high wind along the west coast of Florida, the west coast of the United States. But here, everything's pretty quiet. Not much going on. A few showers are around, but that rainfall is very light in nature for the most part into the central portion of the state. You can see no rain really in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, all the way over to Louisiana, although a few spotty showers are being felt there. But all that moisture is moving right on in to the central United States. Well, here's a little bit of that southeasterly wind bringing some showers. As a result of the heat of the day, mid to upper 80s today in the interior portions of the viewing area, causing a few spotty showers here to pop up. A little heavier activity down near Boca Grande and just off the coast now, and a few just to the northeast of Captiva. Well, Lakewood Ranch webcam showing generally fair weather cumulus clouds around throughout the day today. A warm one, too. Temperatures topping out into the mid-80s and fooling maybe some of the trees and grasses into thinking it's spring. The pollen count remains extremely high for our area and will do so, too, I think, for the rest of this week. As far as the trees go, it's in the high category. Grass is there as well. The weed's not a problem quite yet, but the top allergens is oak, juniper, and grasses right now. So if you are a sufferer of allergies, you're going to have some problems, I think, throughout this week. There's no rain around to wash the atmosphere out or clean it up a little bit. The showers are very spotty at best. Current conditions, we have partly cloudy skies, 81 degrees. Winds are out of the west now, near the coast anyway, with that sea breeze developing. Temperatures currently upper 70s to low 80s here, and it looks like now things still pretty warm in Mayaca City, Northport, Punta Gorda, Arcadia, and Bradenton. 85 degrees, currently 84 in Sarasota. The Gulf water temperature 73. That too well above average. Normally the water temperature right around 65 degrees at this time. Futurecast is showing spotty showers possible. We're looking at this southeasterly wind component. That means higher humidity. Temperatures staying into the mid-80s throughout this week. maybe slightly cooler by the weekend, but not much. And then a frontal system tries to get in. Some big severe storms possible into the mid-Mississippi Valley, stretching down into the lower Mississippi Valley over on Wednesday. But for us, that front falls apart, fizzles out before it reaches us, and we stay high and dry here. Planner for tomorrow looks to be pretty good. Temperatures into the mid-80s, back to school for kids, and not a problem with drop-off or pick-up for that matter. And satellite and radar imagery again showing that snowstorm moving through Minnesota, Wisconsin, and more rain, as I mentioned, anticipated through parts of the Tennessee Valley, stretching up to the Ohio Valley, where it looks like they will see additional problems with flooding. Temperatures extremely cold over the northern Rockies and northern plains right now, all the way down into Denver. Highs tomorrow will be staying really cold there, but look at this. Cleveland will be up to 71 tomorrow, 74 in the nation's capital, so temperatures staying quite warm across parts of the Ohio Valley and the northeast United States. For boaters, east winds turn to the south at 5 knots later on in the day. Light chop in the bays and inland waters. The 7-day forecast, well, there it is. Warm temperatures, mid-80s right through Thursday. As I mentioned, a little bit cooler, but still well above average right through the weekend. Another great weekend anticipated with high temperatures into the low 80s and only a 20% chance for a shower on Saturday and Saturday night. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. Let's check first alert traffic, where we're seeing traffic backed up on Lombok Key, Gulf of Mexico Drive. Slow going as you head south onto Lido Key, St. Armand Circle, and then back over to the bridge. It's going to take you a while this evening. A lot of people heading back to the mainland at this hour. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, illnesses like the flu are contagious, but could weight gain be contagious as well? With more, here's ABC's Arlette Saenz.
Could a baby catch obesity from an overweight mom? Researchers looked at more than 1,400 pairs of mother and child and found that mothers who were overweight during pregnancy are more likely to have overweight babies. Surprisingly, the type of delivery, C-section or vaginal, also mattered. They compared vaginally delivered babies of normal weight moms to babies of overweight moms. They had a 3-fold risk of being overweight at age 1. C-section delivered babies of overweight moms had an even higher risk, a 5-fold increase in risk of being overweight by their first birthday. When it comes to pre-pregnancy weight, it could be more contagious than we thought. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Saenz, ABC News.
A new study shows that being married can benefit our brains as we age. Researchers found that those who were never married had a 42% increased risk of developing dementia, while those who were widowed showed a 20% increased risk. Those who were divorced showed no greater risk than those that were married. A doctor with the Cleveland Clinic said, "We do not know for sure that marriage alone might be protective against dementia, but that being more socially and physically active as a result of being married can be good for brain health." And if you're someone who doesn't like using pharmaceutical or over-the-counter drugs to combat the flu, a more natural approach may be better for you. According to new research and data, natural methods to combat the flu, believe it or not, do work. According to the American Association for Naturopathic Physicians, most over-the-counter medications only treat the symptoms of the cold or flu virus. Naturopathic treatments, including nutritional supplements, lifestyle recommendations, and immune-stimulating and antiviral botanicals, can better support the body's natural defenses. Things like working out and taking vitamins, minerals, and botanical medicine can help prevention and the healing process if you already have the flu. Those supplements include vitamin C, which enhances the immune system, zinc, which can help you maintain a healthy immune system, echinacea, which enhances the body's resistance to infection, and elderberry, which neutralizes the activity of viruses so they can no longer enter the cell and replicate. Now, if you are skeptical about these natural remedies, you can always consult with your doctor first to see if going the natural route is the right option for you. Coming up, slick roads cause a massive pileup of more than 50 cars in Iowa, and how one North Carolina family is doing after a tree crashes through their roof overnight. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today, and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
our accolades are great, just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
This holiday season, show a little imagination. For her, how about a visit to the spa or an evening at a fine restaurant? For him, it could be a round of golf on a world-class course or gear from the pro shop. You'll find these gifts and more at rtjgolf.com/gift cards. RTJ gift cards and resort cards are easy to wrap and never go out of style. Whether it's a good drive, a great steak, or relaxation at the spa, find it at rtjgolf.com/gift cards.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
A massive mess in Iowa this morning leads to a major pileup.
More than 50 vehicles were involved in a crash on Interstate 35. Traffic was held up for more than 2 hours while State Patrol worked to reroute drivers. Police say accidents like this are likely to keep happening until drivers pay more attention behind the wheel, especially when it's snowing. One person was flown to a hospital in Des Moines for a broken arm, but otherwise, all the injuries reported in this crash were minor.
Meanwhile, 3 people living in a Charlotte, North Carolina home survived a massive tree crashing through their house overnight. The force of the impact even flattened a portion of the house and sheared off a section of the roof. The family managed to escape by crawling out of a window. They say they'll stay with relatives nearby for now, but that most of their belongings were damaged.
This wasn't a case of a runaway bride, but rather a stuck bride. Right before the reception, the bride was stuck in the Providence Biltmore elevator, 4 feet shy of the 18th floor, as she and 2 wedding planners waited and waited. Well, the fire department eventually arrived. They pried open the doors, and then firefighters worked to determine how she could get out of the elevator without ruining her dress. Well, the crisis was averted when the technician came along and got that elevator running again, and everyone reunited with quite a story to tell. I always think a good story for your wedding is a good omen for your marriage.
That's a good way to look at it. There you go. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, now that roadway improvements on Bee Ridge Road are completed, a new project that drivers should look out for.
Wire Fire District in Manatee County is taking heat for the amount of money spent on legal fees last year.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best. All on sale for up to $3,805, less than the competition at your local Honda dealer.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Bring on the bright colors. Spring fashions are here. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. It's not always easy to look great and be comfortable at the same time. We have a fashion show from Ariel Clothing SRQ with trendy floral fabrics and comfy designs. The Players Center previews Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway, plus help for women with bladder issues and the culinary restaurant in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.